Hi, I'm Jen Kushell from YSN, and I'm here to talk to you about managing your network. Managing your network is all about taking all of the people that you meet, all the contacts, all the connections, and making sure that one, you don't lose them, two, that you do something with them, and three, that you really maximize those relationships or leverage them as best as you can. So managing your relationships is actually a really important topic that not a lot of people seem to talk about, so I wanted to talk to you about it. First and foremost, you're probably, especially with all this social media, meeting a lot of people. Now, these could be your friends, or followers or fans or whatever they are. But as you can tell, it's getting easier and easier to amass big groups of people who could be interesting for your life, your career, your business, whatever. So thinking about how we manage these people and these contacts is really, really, really important. For some of you, you might be amassing hundreds of contacts. You might be amassing thousands of contacts. Sometimes they end up, in your online profiles and connections. Sometimes they're in your address book. Sometimes you also get them in form of business cards. If you're out there at networking events or meeting lots of people on a regular basis, you could have piles of business cards backing up on you. I know I got to a point where I had literally banker boxes filled. It was insane. So a couple quick tips. One, I learned this the hard way, and this was because, yeah, I grew up digital, but not totally digital. First, make sure all your contacts are digital. Make sure you have full contact information from people in an online format. So that means if you're meeting them through social networks and they're important to you, that you gather their email address, not just their Twitter handle. That you, if you have a business card, that you don't keep it just in business card format, but that you scan it. So having everything digital and having contact information, especially information that's not going to expire, like someone's .edu address, is really good to do. Another thing is, as you start to amass more people in your contact network, start to categorize them too. You might tag certain people with rules or put them in different folders as friends, as potential investors, as maybe people who could lead to new jobs for you, or people you'd like to just keep an eye on and watch the work that they do. That's all great, but categorizing them is really important. Another thing is, make sure that you identify the people you definitely want to stay in touch with, people who could be really important to you, or people who are super, super interesting. Think about the way you think about your family even. You know that you have to keep in touch with your family on a certain basis. It's, they get angry at you, and of course you want them to stay close in your life. But think about your contacts in the same way. There are certain people, your mentors, your advisors, your investors, your, just other people who could be really, really helpful for you that you want to build a strong relationship with. Stay connected to them on a regular basis. Identify them. Make sure that you're staying in touch at regular intervals, and even set, calendar appointments for yourself to say, hey, make sure you reach out to this person in the month of May because it's their birthday or because you wouldn't have talked to them for 3 months. So that's helpful. Also, never be afraid to reach out to someone that you've lost touch with. I think that's a really important thing for a lot of people. Sometimes we don't see people for a long time, or we don't talk to them, or we just completely, they slip off the grid, or we go MIA. I think it's important to know that you can reach out to even someone you haven't talked to in ages and to say, hey, how's everything going? Or I miss you, or I'd love to reconnect. What's going on? That's great. One last thing I would say is, every once in a while, consider putting together like a little update of what you're up to and what's going on in your life, and sending it to your most important contacts just to say, hey, I just wanted to touch base. I haven't talked to you in a while. Here's what I'm up to, and I'd love to get connected again soon. That's it. So I think there are a lot of really good tips on managing your network out there. There's a lot you can do. I know we talk about a ton of it in Fast Track, but go out and manage your network and stay connected to all those important people that you meet.